Hi. What kind of intro? Oh my goodness. Well, I spoke at the church about 2 years ago, I think it was. And when I spoke that time, I had like every word I was gonna say like typed up on these sheets of paper, and as soon as I got here, they went out the window. So this time I just made a couple of notes, and I figured we could just talk for a few minutes. So like Reverend Lorena said, about a year and a half ago, I started this project called The Goddess Within. And it was a result of me, in my meditations, communicating with different feminine divinities. So we're talking about angels, we're talking about goddesses, talking about saints like Joan of Arc, and also feminine ancestors of my own and of other people's. And one of the first goddesses that reached out to me and let me know that there was going to be this deluge of feminine energy coming to communicate through me was named Jagannath. Now, Jagannath is worshipped in Hindu traditions, but it's kind of weird because she's had to kind of mask who she really is within those traditions. So she's worshipped as a big black smiley face, right? And that's all people know of her. All of her symbolism and all of her altars, she's always represented as this big black smiley face. And there are villages, there are villages in India completely devoted to worshiping her with huge altars and shrines and dedicated ceremonies that happen every year that have happened for thousands of years. And all they know of her is this image of a smiley face, right? So she came to me, and the first thing she said, she's usually referred to as he in all of these Hindu traditions. The first thing she said is, "I am not he, I am she." And I was like, whoa. Because for thousands of years she's been worshipped as he. And of course, my first question was, why? Why would you hide? Why would you, do these things? And she showed me other forms of herself that aren't just that smiley face, more human forms, animals she's taken the form of, all of these things. And, she let me know that she felt like she had to, in order to protect herself, and in order to protect her message from any forces that would try to take away and disconnect her from people. So she kind of created all of these different masks so that she could hide away from anything that would take away from her. And then she recreated herself in the image of this smiley face because it's something that's viral. To this day, throughout cultures throughout the world, we all know what a smiley face is. We draw it all the time. And when we're kids, it's one of the first things that we draw when we start drawing people, is the smiling face. And so in that way, she's able to communicate with us without us ever even knowing her name, most of us. Now, the whole point of her coming to me was to begin the process of taking off the masks. It's interesting because I've talked to a lot of people, like my friends and my family, and I've told this story over and over again, but I haven't been able to tell it to this many people at once before, and it feels really good. I can feel her so excited. And she's telling me that, she's showing me something that I can't believe I didn't realize before. But it's that we all set up layers of masks. We all set up layers of masks. And we do it out of fear. That was one of the things that I know I needed to talk about today, is fear. Fear is an emotion, but it's also a palpable vibration within the universe. And fear can come into any situation, no matter how positive and growth-focused it is. And if the beings within that situation allow it, fear can transform those things into things that are the opposite of what they need to be very quickly. So, is it right for us to create those layers of masks? Let me go back to the beginning of the Goddess Within project. So, Jagannath was the first to come to me and peel away all these layers of masks and start showing me all these wonderful truths about our planet. Earth is a special vibration within the universe. I'm going to repeat that. Earth is a special vibration within the universe. We're not just a planet, we're an entire way of being that other planets around the universe have manifested within. And we are a part of Earth. We're not something that was brought to Earth. Earth produced us as human beings. So, back up. Earth is not just a planet, it is a vibration, and we are the children of that vibration, right? Add another layer to it. We are not separate entities. I'm not myself. Lorena is not Lorena. Each one of you are not each one of you. We are a singular organism, a singular child of this vibration that our planet is a part of. So, going back to the masks, if individually we create barriers that prevent other people from seeing who we are and what we're here for, it's the same as a person creating barriers within themselves and ignoring truths about themselves. And I think we all know what comes when you do that. When you have a truth about yourself, or you know something about yourself and you hide it from yourself, it does nothing good. It always ends up bad. So when we create these masks, we're creating all these little moments of non-understanding between each other and within ourselves. And in each one of those moments, fear can slip in. So, is it responsible? Is it okay to allow the masks to exist? Going back to talking about the vibration. Earth is this vibration, and it's a vibration of growth and love and peace. And we feel it from the moment we're born. As little kids, the things that we naturally gravitate towards are things that bring those things about. Love, growth, knowledge, you know? And then the things that drive us away from those things always are a product of fears. Whether our parents instill them in us, whether society as a whole instills them within us. So we know within our human lives that fear is the thing that leads to negativity. And the same thing holds true for the universe at large. This fear that we feel as an emotion is a certain vibration, too, that is present throughout the universe. And we all know that everything in the universe has its place, right? Growing up as kids, sometimes fear has its place. You know, you can use the stovetop analogy, right? If you touch that stovetop when you're told that you probably shouldn't touch the stovetop, and it's on and you burn yourself, the thing that's going to prevent you from touching it again is fear, because you don't want to experience that pain again. So there are these little moments where fear can be used as a tool for protection and for growth and for love. So it definitely has a place within our universe. Now the problem comes in when fear is allowed to overwhelm growth and love. As a planet and as a vibration, we are a beacon. Our goal is to serve as a beacon within the universe of what a realm and what a vibration can look like when fear is only allowed to be in metered doses. It's not something that overwhelms. It's not something that sets the definition for how life is going to grow there. So, going back to the masks. If by creating masks we allow fear in, and if our vibration exists to show how fear shouldn't overwhelm and dominate, we get the answer to the question of should we allow ourselves to create masks and barriers between ourselves? And the answer is no. So, I know I've said the word fear a lot. And most of the time when you say the word fear, people start thinking of the things that they fear. And those things distract them and they don't focus on the opposite, which is love, and which is peace, and which is connection. So I want everyone to just take a moment to breathe. And all of those things that you fear, see them. Accept that you fear them in this moment. See them right in front of you. And compress them. Push them together to a small purple ball. If more come in, bring them in. Bring them into that little ball. And then envision a green light surrounding you. With your mind's eye, see it surrounding everyone else in the room. And then let that green light expand. And as it expands around you, it starts to fill the room. And it starts to surround all of our little purple balls of fear. And slowly, our little purple fear balls start to dissipate into the green. And as the fear starts to dissipate, the green slowly turns to darker and darker hues until it becomes darkness. Not a darkness to be afraid of, but a darkness to sleep in, a darkness of rejuvenation and healing. This kind of healing that we just did on ourselves and that we did with each other is the exact reason Earth's vibration exists. It's why we're here. Not just on this planet, but why we're in the universe. So, as we take this understanding out into the rest of the world, this understanding that we're all connected, not just connected, that we are all one thing. We're just one thing. We feel like we're billions of things, but we're one thing. When we look at someone and we see someone that has allowed fear to create hate within themselves, we're looking at a piece of ourselves that has dropped the ball. And just as you would show yourself love, or even if you're incapable or not at a place where you can show yourself love, just as you would show anything love, or anything has shown love to you, when you see someone overcome with fear to the point where they would hate, where they would act irrationally, where they would deter peace or love, we need to send that person, that part of ourselves, as much love as we can. Whether it's just from a spiritual vibration, or if we're able to form the words or the actions, but understanding that we are all one organism, one thing, should always be the baseline. You should never other people because they are not other, they are you. The same thing goes for love. When you see someone exemplifying love, carrying it to people around them, carrying it into the spaces they go into, always, always, always acknowledge them. Be appreciative and show them that you see the love that they bear. The time that we're living in is a great and wonderful opportunity for us to be who we were always meant to be. We all know that there's a lot of fear floating around the planet right now. But right now, we understand that we are the antithesis of that fear. So this is awesome, because we can look out at all of that fear and become the light that dissipates it. We can be the hero of that book, of that movie, of that video game. We can be the winner of the race. All of the things we've been practicing in all of our art of heroes conquering over evil are now going to come to pass through us. So that's just a little bit of the things that the goddesses have communicated to me through this past 2 years. And I spend every day of every week in devotion to them. I write songs to them. I transcribe their stories. There are a few people in this room that are a part of my daily life, and they know that I don't stop thinking about it, I don't stop talking about it, I don't stop living for them. And they wanted me to communicate that today, but they also wanted me to let everyone in this room know that you don't have to live like that. That's my purpose and my journey. But the thing that each of you can do is connect with other people, connect with yourself, learn about yourself spiritually and as much as you can physically, to determine what goddesses and angels and saints have been a part of your history, whether it's your spiritual history or your actual physical history, and cling to those divinities, because all of them were brought from all around the universe to help Earth conquer fear. They're our greatest allies, they're our greatest tool outside of each other. As long as even just the amount of people that are in this room, if we start doing that actively, seeing love in each other, vanquishing fear, and calling in divine help as we need it, it will grow. Even sitting here, we can recognize that we aren't the only people on this planet doing that. Most people don't even know they're doing it, but they're channeling it. We should never feel like it's happening too slowly or that it's not going to happen, because there's nothing good can come of that. Our sole purpose is that, and so us focusing on it not happening and love not expanding and conquering fear doesn't help.